up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. So your girl is back with another reaction video, and of course it is Tia Mowry back in the news. I know Tia Mowry is a hot topic these days, but baby, listen, she keeps talking and she keeps giving us stuff to have an opinion on. All right, so we're gonna just leave it at that. So Tia Mowry is, of course, she has her show going on, and she's talking more about her personal business and of course her divorce from Corey Hardrick. And as painful as it seems for Corey, it seems to be somewhat painful for Tia as well. So she's seemingly regretting her decision to divorce her husband, but at the same time she's still trying to stay steadfast in her decision making and go along with it and feel good about it, but she's having a little trouble. And so, you know, for some it's not surprising. And once again, people are like, why is everybody dragging this out? Well, why is she dragging it out? Because a lot of people think that it was just in poor taste to go out and go on a divorce tour and have a graduation and have a celebration and almost kind of congratulate yourself for breaking up your home and breaking up your family. And for some people, they don't see it as breaking up a family. They're because it tends to be a selfish nature and something that you want, and it's your feeling, so you act upon it, not considering everyone else's feeling, including your own children. So I want to play a clip of this, and you guys, Tasha K, shout out to Tasha K. I love her channel. Tasha K spoke out a little bit on this. I'm gonna play a little bit of what Tasha had to say about this, but we're gonna get into what Tia had to say on this, you know, a little snippet on her divorce celebration and graduation. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we do, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content, and definitely chime in and let me know what you guys think. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
Don't want to be alone, you know, so when I'm going through these challenges, sometimes you want to go back. The only person that I ever loved in my life was my ex. I hate when this stuff happens because it makes me feel like I've made a mistake.
A mistake of what?
Of getting a divorce.
Girl, God. And that is spirit, because you thought about that long and hard.
I did.
4 years. It wasn't one argument, you're out.
Just because you are no longer doesn't mean that there's no love there.
Let's just say, and I get what she's saying, but she made the choice. Why not try to work harder to work your marriage out, you know, instead of leaving? Leaving is not always the best option. You get married to work things out. You work through your differences. And a lot of people don't want to do that because, once again, it's a selfish act. It's something you want to do. It's all about you. It's all about your feelings and not about your children and your husband. That should be the bigger picture. But let's continue.
It's a symbol of a marriage. And it's no longer. You know, I've never dated.
That's right.
I've never dated. Corey was my first.
Right. Yes.
Everything.
I know.
So I wasn't even allowed to date until I was 18 years old. I met Corey when I turned 20, and I lost my virginity at 25. There, was that it? And then we got married. Boom. Boop.
Tia just won't let. Now, before we get into what Tasha K had to say, listen, in my opinion, now this is just my opinion, that is the way you're supposed to do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I don't understand why, oh, your 20s is for you to be a 304. You're supposed to be out here and ride all kind of CCs. You're supposed to be with all these different men. You're supposed to experience. Who told them that that was the way it's supposed to go? And I know that's what people do, but that is not the way it's supposed to go. And that seems to be the going thing to do, that's more acceptable than you being a 25-year-old getting married to your first love and creating a family with him. That seems to be obsolete nowadays. The things that, you know, would yield you a prosperous, healthy livelihood are the things that people frown and scowl against. These are the things that they think is unusual, or it's unusual in your 20s to be married and create a family with your husband and get, you know, that's unusual. But going out and being a 304 and sleeping and being this so-called having this empowerment movement of you being a 304 is acceptable. That's what people congratulate, and it's almost the norm to go and get with a man and date him and get pregnant, and then after the baby y'all break up. That's the norm. But having a husband and creating a family and y'all being together and building your lives is somehow, something's wrong with that. That's unusual. But we see this is not working for the ones who chose to be these 304s. And here you have women who have been influenced, because in my mind, I think Tia has been influenced by her single friends who've told her, girl, you don't have to put up with this, girl. He's too controlling. He's too this, he's too that. Because she's never given us any real solid reasons as to why she left her husband. She just, oh, I needed to do me. Her own sister said she's doing her and nobody can tell her nothing. To the point where she said her own sister didn't even tell her that she was doing she didn't even tell her own sister she was doing a show. And recently there was a clip of Tia responding to that where she was asked that question, why didn't you tell your sister you were doing a show? And she was stumped. She couldn't really answer that. She didn't really know what to say. And she tried to justify it by saying, oh, well, we don't tell everybody everything, but they're like the major things. And I get, yeah, you may not tell your sibling everything. I have a twin as well. And we talk all the time. But if something major happens in my life, if I was going on a talk show or doing something, I would definitely tell her. I would tell everybody I know. But she, I guess not in her case, but she was questioned about that and she didn't know what to say. And I just think that her divorce and graduation and celebration tour is not going quite the way she thought it would. Even though she's gotten a show out of it, it's like, okay, the claim to her fame at this point is talking about her divorce. That is what she's using to amplify what she's doing. Meanwhile, the ex-husband is crying and trying to get over it. You know what I'm saying? And there's no real detrimental reason that she's stating as the reason for her leaving her husband. Because if there was, I think she would tell us, because she's telling us everything else. But somehow the idea that, oh, she was 25 and she was a virgin and she got with her husband and that's the only person she's been with, somehow that's looked at as a problem when most would argue that that's the way you should do it. But, a lot of people are being convinced that that's not what you should do. You need to test this and test. Then what, till you run out of tests? It's just crazy to me. But yeah, this is why I say there are still good women out here, but a lot of these women are being influenced by the hyenas. They're being influenced by all these other women telling them that they should expect this and they should do this and they should do that, and is leading all these women to become older, bitter broads, single with kids, complaining. But let's move on to what Tasha had to say, because Tasha is hilarious to me. So I want to play a bit of what she had to say. Here we go.
This man, Corey, I'm gonna have to tell Corey, because me and Corey be in a DM and we be chatting it up, okay? Now, this is what I'm finna tell Corey, because I'm just trying to figure out, when is he gonna say something? Corey has got to say something. Give me a second for a second. Corey had it. Okay. Corey, hold on for a second. The last message me and Corey had was, I appreciate you, Tasha. I'm just private and I've always been. People love negativity and the makeup shit on these blogs, and I'm a real one, says Corey to me. Haven't had one smear on my name. Been working 25 years consistently. God is preparing me for something major, that's all I know. I will forever protect Tia and my babies. I'll get through it in Jesus' name. No weapon shall be formed against me.
What she's saying, listen, we know it, because Corey, out of all of this, has been silent. He's only said something a couple of times, and when he did, it was just about, loving his family and his children, and how that those children mean so much to him. And the one time he talked about, a couple of times he talked about it in the interviews, was talking about, how he cried himself to sleep, how this has affected him in a major way because he wanted to keep his family. And there were negative comments about that. People coming at him in a negative way because this man is crying over losing his family. He was being talked at in a negative way. And I thought that was crazy. And there are still people who are trying to convince themselves that he was the problem and that he was this and he was that, when he has given you no indication that he was. Women like to always just assume that the men are always the problem, when a lot of times it's them. They can't fathom the idea that these women are just ratchet and selfish and don't know how to really be in relationships and want what they want on the highway. They can't fathom that, but this is exactly what they say. But they don't think you're supposed to believe that they'll put it into action. It's interesting to see how one side, she's living her best life and her truth and all of this and all that, and he's over here saying how it's horrible. He's actually going through something, because this is not what he wanted. See, he didn't want a divorce. She did. Let's continue.
That's what Corey said to me when I said, hey, you just gonna let her come out here and just say you ain't gonna say nothing, man? And that's what real men do. I said, no worries. I wouldn't dare ask you to speak on or any will towards your family. You a man. This is real life. But if you ever feel like you need anything, Corey, anything, and you feel like speaking, I would be honored. I'm praying for you. Call me. And he said, thank you. Hey, Corey, it's Tasha K. I'm spinning the block real quick. So I know you said that you wanted to protect Tia, but Tia hasn't protected you. And I just don't understand why she's still out here monetizing you and talking about you, but you haven't said anything in regards to your divorce and why. And now she out here talking about what did she say, Jasmine? What's the quote? She lost her virginity to you, but never dated you. Corey, you have got to say something. Come on now, Corey. Corey!
Well, and listen, if I think, okay, you've been with the man for years, y'all, why don't you date? You can still date. This is what I'm saying. People think when you have issues in your marriage that we have issues, it's over. No, that's not a marriage. The marriage means, and a relationship means that when you go through ups and downs, you go through obstacles, you work through them as a couple. If you were having issues in a relationship where you feel like you didn't date your husband, date your husband. You're not comfortable with just your husband. You want to go out and be a thought. That's the only other thing that I could see that people want to experience and go out and see, because you're yearning to try a different man. Is that what finding yourself means? I don't understand it, but I think a lot of people who do this, there was a whole movie made on it. That movie called Temptation, I think it was called Temptation, with Journey Smollett in it, where she was married and her husband, she wanted something new. It was the same old thing. It got boring. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. And then she went out and experienced some fun with another guy, and then ended up on drugs, strung out, with stuff, and missed out on a good man because the man moved on. So it's not all what it's cracked up to be. And I think if there was no abuse in that situation or nothing detrimental like that, you're supposed to be able to work through your differences with your husband and make it work. Women are being told that they don't have to deal with nothing. You don't have to go through anything. It's supposed to be easy and all this. No. And they're walking away from what will be good relationships and good men, thinking that there's something better on the other side. And then when they find out it's not, it's too late. Let's continue.
Okay. So those are the receipts. Don't get it twisted. So when Tia was out here sending shots to me, right? She knew why. Because she knew that I was in communication with Corey. I was like, why is this girl? I told you. It's like the losing with the taking the butt shots out, and the DBBLing, the divorces are the new BBAL, so are veneers. Hell, veneers are losing to the divorces.
Listen, shout out to Tasha K, because Tasha K is funny as hell to me. But what she's saying is the truth. And I think, once again, I think society has made a lot of women think that it's okay to just walk away. When something doesn't serve you, just leave it alone. Because it's become a selfish thing. Women think that they're the prize, and they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread, and everything has to go the way they want it. If they're tired, if they're bored, then you got to cater to them. You got to do everything for them, and you don't care about anything else. From what I've seen, what Tia herself has put out in social media, I just think that that's what it is. I think that she's looking to do for herself, and she's basically said it. She wants to do what she wants for her, and she doesn't care about what her husband had to say or about anything else, and she's gonna do her. Even her sister said it. Whatever that entails, hopefully she's happy. Hopefully she get that happiness that she's looking for the rest of her life, because it's a lot of things to consider when you do stuff like that. You have to consider your kids, their thought process, how they're gonna grow and develop, and all of that. And I think it's very selfish to move and act in that way based on what we've seen. So listen, I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Let me know what you think. I want to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.